In this episode of Satan's Strategies, we come to a big topic, and that is stealing small amounts of time. This is a big strategy of Satan. That's why Paul in Ephesians 5 says, redeem the time, for the days are evil. Paul had this realization that the days are evil, and we need to redeem every second that we have. When you consider any kind of life, and it's the case with human life, it takes time. There's particular life grows in stages, and it takes a long amount of time for that life to reach maturity. And this is a key principle, that life takes time. And it's the exact same way in the Christian life with the spiritual life. Man has a body, man has a soul, and man has a spirit. Whenever the spirit enters into man's spirit, that's a concept the Bible calls regeneration, and that happens instantly, like in a blink of an eye. Okay, in Romans 8:23, the Bible talks about the redemption of our body when the Lord's life invades our mortal body. That's also in an instant. But actually, much of the Christian life is in the process of transformation of the soul, and that is a very, very long process. So Satan's strategy, he realizes it takes time, and so his strategy is to eat away hours and days, and eventually these days that are occupied many times with just normal human affairs, they turn into weeks and they turn into months. Maybe it's your job or your family or finances, anxiety, whatever the case may be. He's just stealing away things until eventually he steals away not weeks and months, but eventually years. Eventually, he might not only steal years, but decades, and eventually these decades accumulate to reach our entire human life. He realizes that life takes time. We need to invest ourselves into the Lord, and so that the Lord can invest into us. But he's trying to steal away these small amounts of time that eventually accumulate to large amounts of time, so that at the end, there is really no growth. You see, the Lord's way is to give us small amounts of himself over a long period of time. Even the book of Zechariah says, don't despise the day of small things. The Lord's goal is day by day to give you small amounts of himself. Just like in the human life, we breathe small amounts, we drink and we eat in small amounts, but eventually those accumulate to equal the growth of the human life. And it's the same in the spiritual life. We eat the Lord, we drink the Lord, we breathe in the Lord, and eventually these kind of small things, they accumulate over long periods of time to equal the growth in life, which is what the Lord is after. But Satan also realizes this, so he steals away these small amounts of time from us, and we might think that they're not that big a deal, but they actually add up to an accumulation of wasted opportunity after wasted opportunity. Don't be ignorant. Don't despise the day of small things. This is one of his key strategies. So brothers and sisters, redeem the time, for the days are evil. Redeem the time to gain Christ.